All right. So along the way, when we are exploring the topic of interpersonal communication, all right, we are being exposed with certain types of communication ways, all right, certain types of um, relationship that we should have, friendship, romantic relationship. Afterwards, we're going to learn about family relationship, all right, and how to resolve conflicts, all right, and how does people interpret communication in terms of interpersonal communication. So when we know about interpersonal communication, we know that it always involve, all right, uh, a person to a person, all right, but it doesn't only involve a person to a person personally, all right, meaning that not just two person, it can also involve you and also a group of people in a group because of course you will not be shouting to everyone, right? You will be picking some of the people in that group for you to communicate with, all right? And by chance or by luck, right, maybe some of that people will get attracted to you or you yourself get attracted to them and you will be into committed romantic relationship, all right? So committed romantic relationship is a relationship between individuals who assume they will be primary and continuing parts of each other's life. Assume to be primary ni is quite deep actually, all right, saying that two-person, all right, they assume that there will be a unit, all right, so there will be a unit, they will be living together, all right, they will be doing things together, integrating with each other, all right, and continue parts of each other's life, all right, whatever it is that you are doing, I will also be doing it as well. Whatever it is that I'm doing, all right, you will also be doing it as well, all right. So in terms of committed romantic relationship, all right, in the Eastern culture, usually we gonna emphasize more of the marriage kind of relationship, all right. But then in Western culture, all right, they are already they have already normalized, all right, being in a relationship without being married. Sometimes they have 2 to 3 kids, all right, and after that they're gonna propose and get married. So masa itulah dah kahwin semua, dah ada anak and everything kan, barulah will you marry me and things like that. All right, so that is quite normal over there, all right, in the Western culture, but not acceptable, not just in Malaysia actually, but also in other Eastern cultures such as the Japanese culture, Chinese culture, or anything which really value, all right, they value the Eastern culture very much, okay. So the dimension of romantic relationship, all right, number one, we must have passion, okay, meaning that we must be intensely positive, we must have intensely positive feelings and desire for another person, of course lah, kita kena whatever it is we are doing, all right, we will want to do it with our partner. Whatever it is we are eating, want to share it with our partner, all right. The interest that we have, we also want to share it with our partner as well. So the passion, all right, towards incorporating life with your partner, all right. And then you must also have commitment, all right, meaning that you have intention to remain in the relationship, all right. Being committed in a relationship is something which is quite hard to be achieved actually, okay. And intimacy, feelings of connection or closeness and tenderness, all right. So intimacy can be divided into, we can say, uh, some couple who are still not married yet, all right, they also have their form of intimacy. Intimacy ni is not only you showing your love by caressing or by hugging or by kissing cheeks or things like that. Tak juga sebenarnya. Intimacy dia, is more of you, the connection that you feel, all right, the closeness and also tenderness, all right, how comfort you are, all right, how happy you are when you have your partner along with you, okay. There are a few styles of loving. Mencintai ni bukan hanya I love you, you love me. Alright, so loving also have a few styles embedded in interpersonal communication. Alright, so we have primary style and also the secondary style. Okay, so for primary style, number one, we have the I mentioned. No, not this one. Okay, sorry. All right. So for the primary style, we have number one Eros. All right, Eros, Storge, and also Ludus. All right. So all of these terms are taken from Greek. All right, the Greek language. All right, Greece. Okay. All right, Eros. All right. The first primary style is Eros, intense love that usually include early self-disclosure, sentimental expression, and a quick falling in love period. Yang ni most of the time will be those yang very sentimental, jiwang, love at first sight, that kind of people. Okay. And then number two, we have Storge. All right. Storge, love that grows out of friendship and is usually characterized by stability. Bukan storge gay tu Alright. So storge is more of a style of love that grows in time. Dia ambil masa. Alright. Storge ni ambil masa untuk for you to have that kind of feeling. Alright. Usually you start off with just knowing and then being friend for a few years, and then you have decided that this is the one, or this is the person that you want to live with, for example. Okay. And then we have ludus, or playful love. All right. So those who practices ludus, they view love as a game that usually includes adventure, puzzle, and commitment avoidance. They the games here means that they do not show much of commitment. All right. More of nak manja-manja, ataupun more of nak uh, test the partner. For example, you for example girls lah kan, ada kawan-kawan perempuan. Alright. Cik pergi tackle boyfriend aku, tengok respon dia macam mana. That kind of games that we are talking about. Alright. So you keep on falling in love all over again because you enjoy romance, but you actually aren't ready for commitment. Cepat sangat. Mudah sangat jatuh cinta, mudah sangat suka tanpa sengaja, contohlah kan. Dah ada boyfriend, dah ada girlfriend. Tapi bila tengok orang lain, tertarik juga dengan orang lain. But actually you are not ready for commitment. Maknanya tak jumpa lagi apa yang kita nak actually in a relationship. Okay. And then we have secondary style of loving. All right. This include pragma, mania, and also agape. Okay. For those who are practicing pragma, all right, usually you will combine storge and ludus love style. Okay. Storge is when you take some time to know that particular person, to fall in love with that person. All right. And then ludus is where you still don't find the one that you are looking for. All right. And you keep on falling in love. All right. But you doesn't involve yourself in a commitment. Alright. So people who exhibit this lifestyle usually have clear criteria for partners that must be made before they fall in love. Dia ada dah the things that they are looking for into their partner. Alright. But then throughout the relationship, okay, selagi tak jumpa, selagi itulah when he or she involved in the relationship, okay. So this is just temporary for the sake of nak ada boyfriend atau girlfriend. Tapi this particular boyfriend atau girlfriend ni tak doesn't meet the criteria yang dia nak. Tapi for the sake of having relationship, okay, I'll stay here first, okay, while looking or while searching for the one that fits the criteria that you have set, okay. And then we have mania, alright, which combines eros and ludus love style, alright. So eros is when you yuang lah, mudah sangat fall in love, alright, mudah sangat open, okay. And then it combines you with ludus as well. But then walaupun you mudah sangat expose yourself ataupun open yourself to others, but still you cannot put yourself into a commitment because you are still searching. Alright. So people who exhibit this lifestyle usually devise game to test their partner's commitment. Macam saya cakap tadi lah, hantar kawan perempuan kita pergi test tengok boyfriend aku tu, kau pergi ngorek tengok dia minat ke tak, something like that. Alright. And test for their potential partner and experience emotional extreme. So bila dia test macam tu, alright, usually it will brought up to emotional extreme. For example, euphoria. Alright, meaning that you have intense excitement and happiness. So sonok gila lah boyfriend kita setia, for example. Ataupun despair, loss of completely without hope. Despair because tiba-tiba boyfriend kita tu lahian pula kawan perempuan kita ni. Alamak, sedih. Right, so you enjoy that kind of feeling in this mania kind of relationship. Alright. And then we have agape. Alright, agape means that we combine eros and also storge love style. Okay, eros cepat open, cepat fall in love. Alright, and storge still walaupun kita cepat open, cepat fall in love, still we try to take time. Alright, take some time to develop that relationship so that we will know that this is the right person. Alright, that we want to be with. Alright, so this lifestyle usually put another's happiness ahead of their own, without any expectation of reciprocity. Alright, meaning that there will be no personal gain. Kita boleh kata because we are very open, we are very honest. Alright, we want to tell them that we really love them, our partner. Alright, so we tend to put themselves, alright, above ourselves. Okay. And we have the development of romantic relationship. Alright, kita ada 3 stage. Alright, the first one is growth, and then navigation, and then deterioration. Oh, malam ni kita je terlef pula. Alright. Okay. When we are in the growth, alright, the growth stage, okay, individuality is the most important thing, meaning that we are looking for individual qualities that affect what we look for in a relationship. Are we looking for a talkative person? Are we looking for a cheerful person? Are we looking for a reserved person? Kita suka orang yang masuk air ke? Kita suka orang yang senyap ke? Kita suka orang yang very cheerful ke? Alright, so individual qualities will be one of the points that we are looking at. Alright, invitational communication, meaning that we are showing sign, alright, to people that we are interested in interacting. Alright, so when we are inviting people to communicate, the most important thing will be our self concept. Macam mana kita nak portray, alright, ourself, our characteristic to the people that we are attracted to. Alright, the proximity ataupun the space between us and also that person. Right, are we gonna be very open, or are we gonna put some limit? All right, and also similarities. All right, whether we have similarities or we have contrasting values, all right, with the people that we are interested to. All right, and then some of the couple, they will try to come up with they will experience environmental spoiling. All right, also in environmental spoiling, proximity breeds ill will. All right, as we are forcing others whose value, lifestyle, or behavior conflict with our own. Alright, environmental spoiling ni meaning that kita terlalu memaksa orang yang kita minat tu, kita dah shock kat dia, to be in our environment. Sedangkan orang tu sebenarnya some of the characteristic or some of the value ataupun lifestyle tu tak sama dengan kita. For example, alright, kita suka pergi panas-panas, pergi main bola ke, main rugby ke apa, and then we want our girlfriend to follow. Sedangkan girlfriend kita ni dia tak biasa pergi panas-panas tengok orang lelaki pakai seluar pendek, dia malu, dia segan, for example. Alright, so it will create environmental spoiling. Okay, and then explorational communication. Alright, meaning that we are considering possibilities for long term relationship. So in the growth stage, alright, we will explore, alright, we will explore how our relationship will continue afterwards. Adakah ia akan berakhir di sini? Adakah we need more time? Ataupun adakah we have chances for long-term relationship? Okay. And then intensifying communication, whereby we express more personal thoughts and feeling, as well as begin to create our own relational culture. So when we have already decided that, all right, we're going to be in a very long-term relationship, all right, we will be more thoughtful, and also we will be more expressive in terms of our feeling, and sometimes we will create our own relational culture. For example, some of the culture that we have created when we are in a relationship tengah couple ni kan. Contoh malam video call, pagi tolong kejut, for example, and then for lunch you will pick your partner and go lunch together. So these are some of the relational culture that you will continue along the way. All right, and then you will revise your communication, meaning that the possible problems and dissatisfaction that exists within the relationship, as well as evaluate the likelihood of the relationship continuing. So along the way, bukannya kita dah puas hati and kita dah happy to be committed, alright, for life, but then we will still try to revise and try to find out what are the things that we are dissatisfied, ataupun what are the conflicts that exist within the relationship, and also we gonna evaluate again the likelihood of the relationship continuing. Alright, kenapa benda ni still terjadi walaupun kita dah decide to commit? Contohlah, walaupun kita berkahwin, there are still an option that we call separation ataupun bercerai. Jadi, along the way, along the relationship, sometimes things happen and we decided that we cannot continue our relationship. So this is when we revise our communication with our partner. And commitment, right? The decision to stay with the relationship over the long haul and arrange other aspects of their life around their relationship. All right. So whatever it is, when we have already been committed with the relationship with our partner, okay, we will try to rearrange the aspect of our life so that it will fit, all right, the aspect of life that our partner is having as well. Okay, kalau our partner tak biasa tidur lewat pukul 12, kita sebelum ni tidur pukul 3 4 pagi, so this time around maybe we, selalunya orang akan adapt to things yang good lah, orang takkan adapt to things yang bad. Okay, so we will adapt to this particular aspect of life in our relationship. Okay, and then the navigation stage, all right, whereby All right, in denavigation stage, people will maintain a relationship by adjusting, working through new problems, revisiting old problems, and accommodating changes in both individual and relational life. Okay, selalunya in terms of relational culture tadi tu, alright. So how do you deal with dialectical tension ataupun benda-benda yang going against, alright, going against the norms that you are having, and also rules and ritual macam saya cakap tadi, malam nak video call, contoh masa dia tak kahwin lagi lah kan. But then bila dah kahwin mungkin malam you want to chat together with your partner for example. Okay, and then siang maybe you take turns on preparing breakfast. So ni kalau yang dah ada anak tu take turns to send children to schools for example. So these are rules and ritual that you have incorporated in your long-term relationship. Alright, and also placemaking. You will create an environment that indicates our relationship as well as what we value, experience, and like. For example, okay, so usually placemaking occurs in a relationship, alright, that both partners have the same interest. For example, saya suka hiking, wife saya pun suka hiking. So we always go to hike. Okay, kita selalu pergi hiking. We always go for hiking trips for example. Suka travel, we always go for travelling. Ataupun both of us are car enthusiast, minat kereta. So kita akan selalu tengok YouTube pasal kereta ataupun always make up kereta. Okay tak kereta ni buat macam ni? Okay tak tamas for example. Ataupun the simplest way is kita suka decorate rumah ataupun we are art lovers, alright? So we will place our environment so it will fit the interest that can tie us together. Benda yang we have the same interest, minat yang sama, alright, and then we create that kind of environment at our home ataupun in our life. Okay, alright. But then we also have the deterioration stage. Alright, sometimes people survive until navigation. Sometimes people have to go through deterioration. Alright, deterioration occurs in a few steps. Alright, number one, intraphysic processes whereby there will be dissatisfaction with the relationship. Right, after you experience dissatisfaction, ada benda tak puas hati, then you will focus on perceived decline in closeness, alright, and intimate communication, or lapses in joint activities or acts of consideration. Usually when dissatisfaction happen, alright, less communication will occur, intimacy will go away, alright, joint activities will never happen again, for example, and you will tend to be not considerate with your relationship. All right, and then dyadic processes. All right, the breakdown of established pattern, ritual and rules that make up the relational culture. Kalau sebelum ni kita selalu je for example weekend je kita spend time tengok movie sama-sama, dah tak ada dah. Alright, sometimes morning je contoh weekend morning husband prepare breakfast lah, sweet lah ni korang, dah tak ada dah sekarang. So these are some of the dyadic processes ataupun patterns yang kita ataupun ritual yang dah tak jadi ritual lah, doesn't happen anymore. Alright, after that we're going to look for social support, meaning that we look to others to help us to get through the relationship breakdown. Right, this is when wife kita pun pergi cakap dengan kawan-kawan dia, kita pun cakap kawan-kawan kita, kadang-kadang kita mengadu dengan family kita, kadang-kadang to the extent yang wife mengadu dengan kawan lelaki, kita pun lelaki pula mengadu dengan kawan perempuan. So this thing happens because we are seeking for support. Alright, grave dressing processes whereby we bury the relationship and accept that it has come to a close. So masa ni lah separation ataupun kalau yang berkahwin tu penceraian will happen, ataupun yang couple tu masa ni lah kita nak break lah for example. Right, and then resurrection processes whereby the two people move on with their life without the other as an intimate. Masa ni kita dah totally move on, alright. We have no more the other person in our life and we are open to new relationship. Okay. Guidelines for communication in romantic relationship, alright. Engage in dual perspective. Okay, always be open, alright. Always open up your heart and also your mind when you are communicating, alright. And benda ni ada dalam buku, so saya kena cerita lah. Practice safe sex, alright, of course. Okay, in the Western culture, okay, sebab benda ni more of towards the Western culture, sometimes, right, people, they do not engage in safe sex because they are impaired by alcohol or drugs. They believe they aren't at risk, alright, of getting STDs or syphilis or things. So they find it difficult. Oh, link kat mana? Cik Jamal tanya. Alamak, sekejap nak habis dah ni pun. Tak apa, kita share link kan dia. Oh, Cik Jamal dah masuk dah? Okay. Belum lagi. Sorry. Sekejap saya copy up. Okay. Alright. Okay. But then this is just in case if I'm not going to say that these things doesn't happen in our culture. Walaupun kita ni kita Eastern culture, we have Islam as our religion, but sometimes such things does happen, alright, especially if you are living in big cities. Kadang-kadang couple ni they live together as if they nothing happen walaupun belum kahwin lagi, alright. So the best way is just to you know what you call it, ask them or advise them to do what is right, okay. But then the best way is to get married, alright, and still, alright, when you are married, you still have to practice safe sex by avoiding yourself from being involved in such things, okay, such things, alright. And then social media and committed relationship, alright, some of the benefits of having social media when you are in a relationship, it provides opportunity to meet potential partners. Sekarang ni kita dah ada Baitul Jannah lah, alright, all those dating apps, alright, they can help you to look for your future partners, for example, alright. And it could also help long distance partners stay in touch with each other. So with the invention existence of social media nowadays, there will be no problem for you to reach out to your partners. Kalau you are familiar, kalau kat rumah ada Astro 707 TLC 90 Day Fiancé. Yang tu. Saya suka tengok cerita tu. Alright, 90 Day Fiancé is when you have somebody from the US, alright. So this particular show saya rasa dia sponsor. They sponsor this whole relationship, alright. Their partner must be not from US and also applying to become a US citizen, right, by getting a green card. All right, a green card here means that they will have to declare that they are engaged, all right, and within 90 days or 3 months, they have to get married in order for that particular person or their partner to come to the US and become US citizenship. Tapi tak semudah tu juga. They gonna have interviews, all right. You must show proof that you are very committed, all right. Sometimes some of the relationship maintain, they got kids, they live happily ever after. Sometimes, okay, kadang-kadang kalau yang pelik sangat tu lah, for example, tengok adalah contoh-contoh macam African guy ataupun Middle Eastern guys lah, nampak smart lah macam, but then dia partners from the US, especially perempuan lah, is a bit older from them, macam agak tua sikit sebaya mak-mak dia orang and everything, alright. They want to get into relationship for the sake of coming to the US because people always say that US is a promised land or land of opportunities, okay. Alright. But then there are also challenges, alright. Online deception, macam saya cerita lah 90 Day Fiancé ni, macam cerita 90 Day Fiancé, sometimes because you didn't meet the person in person, alright, you didn't know who they are actually, how are they living, the way of life and things like that, alright, there will always be deception. Macam sekarang ni kita banyak dengar scam, love scam, for example, alright, and surprisingly, those who are involved in love scam ni bukannya not ordinary people lah, bukan orang biasa-biasa. Kadang-kadang tu they teachers, lecturers, executive, most of them are successful people lah, people with career, but still they got deceived online by the love scam, alright. And also cyber stalking can happen, always cyber stalking will always happen, and it also offers opportunities for infidelity, especially kalau this 5 years back lah, for example, we saw the trend, not 5 years lah, I think about almost 7-8 years lah, the trend of connecting with everyone through WhatsApp group ataupun through Facebook group. Okay, sekolah kebangsaan apa-apa darjah 1 sampai 6 tahun 1960 apa. To the extent that people will try to reach to their friend, and masa ni they will come out. Saya perspektif saya tidak negatif kan, but then there are certain cases happen, alright, especially group-group yang saya sembang dengan mak ayah saya lah. right? When they reach out online, okay, or reunion tak boleh bawa partner, tak boleh bawa wife, tak boleh bawa husband, so they go to hanya and everything. So it still offer opportunities for infidelity. Infidelity here means that berlaku curang lah. Right, somebody who are already married, alright, get into relationship with other man or other woman. Okay, alright. So again, guidelines for communication in romantic relationship. Engage in dual perspective, same as the previous one, and also practice safe sex after marriage. Saya sengaja tambah after marriage dulu to say that we are incorporating the lesson into our Eastern culture. Right? Manage conflict constructively. Alright, because romantic bonds are important and very fragile because it involves a lot of feelings, alright, a lot of tenderness, commitment. So things like these are very fragile in a relationship. Alright. Mismanagement of conflict can lead to domestic violence. Sometimes when we have conflict, we cannot control, especially guys lah kan. We cannot control our temper and things, alright, we will tend to release our temper to kids, maybe to our wife, alright. Maybe we kadang-kadang dia tak boleh nak pukul wife atau anak, dia rosakkan barang-barang rumah. So these are also still considered as domestic violence, alright. Adapt communication to maintain long distance relationship, alright. Typical problem will occur, alright. For example, lack of routine. Kalau long distance ni, kadang-kadang takkanlah hari nak call, for example kan, ada juga hari yang miss call. But then sometimes partners have unrealistic expectation about spending time together and also unequal effort invested by partners. Asyik kita je, asyik the girls je, lelaki tak bagi pun sebarang komitmen. For example, lelaki tak spend time pun, asyik lelaki je, perempuan tak. Macam tu lah. So we have to manage the long distance relationship carefully, and also we must practice equality in our relationship. Okay. Alright. So that's all. Okay. Any question? Yang ni topik ni simple lah. Tak ada apa sangat lah. Towards the end, all of the topics are very simple. We have friendship before this, now romantic relationship, next week family relationship. Okay. Any question on this one? Ada soalan ke? Stop presenting. Okay. Alright. Okay. Saya ada jenguk-jenguk ke ruangan assignment. So for now, assignment tu tak ada siapa hantar lagi. Alright. Assignment 1, rasanya 3 orang dah hantar. So what I would like you to do is to work on your assignment as soon as possible lah. Kalau boleh saya tak nak lah sampai hujung week 14 tu baru nak hantar semua benda. Make it week 13 lah. Kalau seminggu sebelum final week tu saya boleh accept lagi. Because during the final week kita akan buat sedikit midterm test, because we are not gonna be having final exam. So we'll be doing tak lah midterm, end of term test lah. Alright, on the final week. Alright, so I'm gonna leave you with the online, okay, online open book end of term test. Alright, I'm gonna put it in eCampus. Alright, once you have login, you have only 3 hours to complete that particular task. Alright, saya akan open task tu for 24 hours. Tapi bila kita dah start je, kita kena habiskan dalam masa 3 jam juga. Alright, macam exam lah lebih kurang. Alright, so I'm going to reserve that final week, week 14, week 14 tu untuk kita buat test itu sahaja. So try by week 13 to finish up all of your assignment. Okay, alright, I guess that's all for today. Thank you very much for joining. Saya Sabtu ni nak potong gelang dah. Alhamdulillah, makin sihat. So I hope all of you will also stay healthy, alright, stay safe. Kes dekat Kelantan ni pun agak banyak juga sebenarnya. Alright, watch for SOPs, alright. And I guess that's it for today. Thank you very much. I'll see you again next week. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good night and thank you everyone. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, sir.
Bye, most welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, most welcome, Cik Amal.